Okay, hello everyone. So we are on part 53 of the business class, and it's part 3 of the command over life section. So we're going to have a very amazing, different webinar today. You will see it's out there. It's very powerful. If you'll understand those principles that I'm going to teach you, it will change everything for you. But, big but, you need to participate. This is not something that you can just listen, because you'll see it will move a lot of furnitures in your head. So if you are here, you need to commit 100% to participate. Okay? Okay, here we go. So we are starting. Okay, are you ready to start? University Business Class, Part 53, 12 December 2025. Wow. And we are on Command over Life, Part 3. Here we go. We are starting. Here we go. Get ready. So, welcome to your 53rd GP University class out of 50. No recording, please. Nothing I said today is true unless, of course, it is extremely true for you. Don't let me move from point A to point B before you understand point A. All I teach is simple, since the end result of complication is unworkability. If something do not work in your life, you made it complicated. People love to make things complicated. If something do not work in your life, you make it complicated. How do you make something complicated? How do you make something complicated? How do you make something not simple? You add lies, overthinking, add lies. Yeah, there's only one way. You don't acknowledge it. You don't fully communicate with it. If you don't fully communicate with something, it's getting complicated, it's getting solid. So if you see something that is complicated, which means resisting dissipation, complication is resisting dissipation. So if that's what happened, it's just because it has been unacknowledged, nothing else. If you fully acknowledge all the part of something, it will dissipate. It will become uncomplicated, simple truth, and so will dissipate. It's really quite unbelievable. And what left is nothing, is the ability to create. What left is the ability to create. And the only responsibility is what is over what you created. But we'll talk about it much more. Okay, everyone with me? Perfect. Excellent. And most importantly, you are not a spectator in the class. You are a participant, a partaker. And as you can see from the chat, 99% of the people already know that, which is admirable and very well done, because you are participating. Perfect. You will get results only if you participate. We're going to learn applicable knowledge, and the purpose is result, not thinking. Thinking end up with headaches. What we're looking for is results, not headache. To get results, you will need to apply what you have learned. So when you look at what I'm teaching you, you need to, first of all, understand it before you try to apply it. And only once you fully, 100% understand it, go ahead and apply it. So it's really important that you will first understand, because full understanding will make application inevitable. If you find it hard to answer an email, it's because you did not understand something about an email. Are you with me? So first, understanding. Most of the time when I'm explaining things, before the person fully understands the concept, he will ask me, so how do I use it? If you have that question, it means you did not understand it. If I need to tell you how to use it, it means you did not understand it. Are you with me? How many of you can How many of you can apply E equal mc square? Not really, yes? You don't know what's E mean. You cannot actually define E. You don't know it. You heard, you maybe can parrot something, but you don't actually understand. Obviously, mass, you don't understand. And never mind what square mean. And speed of light, see, you cannot conceive. So of course you cannot use it. Are you with me? So if you find that you cannot apply it, apply mean using it to bring the expected result, you need to report to yourself, regardless of what you think, you don't understand it. Okay? So what I'm looking for you here is to understand really what does it mean to understand, to really make it your own. Okay? Now, to ensure you apply, is I'm going to give you drills to do in the class and homework to execute after the class. So I'm giving you those drills after you understood. So don't start the drill if you did not understand, obviously, yes? You will need to do the drills and report them as completed by the time I've asked for them. And you will need to submit your homework at least one day before the next class. If you fail to do the drills and report completion during the class, or if you fail to submit the homework on time, I will not allow you to join the next lesson or get recording of the next lesson, and I will not guarantee the results. And you will not be able to get any refunds. So I'm looking for results, so you need to do the drills. I don't care if you do them smartly or stupidly, just do the drills, the result will be there. Now this universe is a tough universe. And even the lions have a hard time surviving this game. And hence, the business class is for the brave. What does it mean, the brave? The one that is willing to win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm. The one that is willing to say, one second, I don't understand what you just said. The one that is willing to look at things. So the business class is for the brave, not the one that's shy because he's thinking, oh, if I will write the incorrect answer, people will think bad of me. Or what will they think? So he does not participate. The reason a person do not participate is because he's the level of fear or below. Because fear is an unwillingness to communicate, yes? So if you don't participate, you are at fear or below. Regardless of what you think about it, that's your native tone. And as you go up the tone, as you become more alive, you want to participate, you want to communicate. You don't care if people think it's right or wrong, because there's no context of right and wrong. There's only context of do you improve or do you deteriorate? Are you with me? So it's for the brave one. Yes, thank you. For the tough ones, for those who want results, for those that are willing to do what it takes, not what is possible from their limited viewpoint. We're going to learn and apply how to establish, run, and correct any organization. And as a result, you'll get profit. But you'll not get the income, the profit, if you do not insist on understanding each and every word I say, as will be very evident by the inability to apply and so bring about the expected results. The only reason one does not get the expected results is fake realities, which are the manifestation of failure to confront. So if you can confront something, it will not persist, and so it cannot hurt you. Here we go. Command over life, part 3. Command over life, part 3. Are you ready? Bring it on. Here we go. So, what are the limiting factors in your life? What do you think stop you from becoming amazing, from using your full potential, from succeeding? Confusion, consideration, fear, doubt, the past, thinking, fake reality, considerations, mind. But I need you to be more specific. Which consideration? Thinking, yes, confusion, fear, worry, lack of knowledge, tension, past, unwilling to do what? Yes. I need you to be a little bit more specific because the past is really just a generality. What in your past? Yes. Like more specific. Cutting communication, that's more correct. Income, especially money. Okay. Very, very, very good. Too many open cycles. Okay. So most of the people, you'll see that people usually answer with things like money, I can't afford it, I need more capital first. Or time, I don't have time, or my schedule won't allow it. Or energy or health, I'm too tired, or my body can't handle it. Or skills or intelligence, I'm not good at this, I'm not smart enough. This is really used a lot, even if they don't say it aloud. The people that are really, 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 really smart will say it aloud. And the people that are not will not even say it. Confidence, fear, what if I fail? What will people think? Past, because of what happened to me, I always mess it up. Other people, they don't let me. My partner, my boss, my family blocks me. Bad luck or fate. Life doesn't work for me. I got married. Now, at first glance, this looks like this looks like many different problems. Yes, it looks like it can be anything. But actually, they're not. They're not. It's really unbelievable that all of those things that you think is not different problems, there is one common denominator for all of those things. And I want you to look closely and tell me, what is it? What is the one common denominator to all those things? What is the thing that the source, my viewpoint, me affecting consideration, you agree to them, me, fixed viewpoints, yes. Fake reality, viewpoints, my mind. Okay, so you'll see money limits you only because it creates space between you and what you want to have. Is that correct? True, yes. Time limits you only because it creates space between now and what you want to have or to achieve. True or false? Fear limits you only because it creates space between you and understanding. Trauma limits you only because it creates space between you and actuality. If you look closely, you will see mankind can achieve anything when limitations are removed. Anything. So how do you achieve something? You remove the limitation, which means the potential was there, but there was a limitation. If I will remove your limitation, then you'll see I don't need to give you more energy. Yes, the problem is not a problem of a bigger engine. The problem is a problem of handbrakes up. So every limitation is at its root a limitation of space. Every limitation that you have is a limitation of space. You want to open the door, you need to walk to the door and open it. You want to change, to increase your muscles, you need to go and move the hand. They need to be created space. Are you with me? So the space is the thing that limits you. The space is the first thing that gets created. Are you with me? If you think about it, the moment that you remove the space, the limitation is gone. Because to control something fully, you need to be the thing. You'll see that Bruce Lee said, I think, that he imagined himself like water, because when water go into a glass, it becomes the glass. And the water is the strongest substance on earth. It can flow, it can be strong, it can be soft. It can actually share the same space. So space is anti-affinity. Can you see that? So your limitations are limitations of affinity, yes? This is quite amazing. Yes, space is anti-affinity. You understand? Affinity mean that if I have this thing and I have this thing, so affinity means getting together, reducing the space, yes? Agreed or not? So space is anti-affinity. It's fighting affinity. True or false? So every limitation and at its root is a limitation of space. Okay? It's really amazing. Now, if you strip away the stories, the emotions, the justification, explanation, lies, and identities, and all limitation collapse into one thing. Everything. It's just an issue of space. Once you remove everything is space. When you hide, you commit a sin, you hide what you do. You want to create space between you and the person. You look at a picture from the past, there is a space between you and that picture. Now, it's not some kind of a metaphorical space or poetic space, but an actual space, separation, division, a gap. So far, so good? Chinmay, what do you think? And again, first understand this, and then we'll go to communication. You're jumping into something different, yes? Emmanuel, before you ask how we control space, let's first understand this. Okay? You see, if you jump into how do I control space, at that moment, it means that you will not be able to confront what's in front of you now. Do what you do when you're doing it. Of course, if you have a realization, it's not a problem. Because what does it mean to have a win is to unleash something. So you let go of space. Okay, everyone so far okay with me, yes? Actual space is the common denominator. You want to go to the moon. What's the problem? Space. Agreement, if you have low agreement, if there is no agreement, you increase the space. If you have high agreement, you decrease the space, yes? So it's space. Now, the moment space is created, times begin to move. Place find its ground, energy released, forms gather, and events unfold. Now let me explain what do I mean by this, okay? Let me explain. So space is just, you assume a viewpoint, okay? This is a viewpoint. So I assume a viewpoint. And from this viewpoint, what I do, I said, okay, let me take something here. Let me take something here. Let me do something here. Let me do something here. And what I created in reality is space. But I do that on third dimension. So far, so good? Now, the moment I created space, the moment that I have this thing that called space, and let's look at space now as something like that, 3 dimension, okay? The moment that I have space, and I have myself here as the middle, as the one that creating the space, what I do is I now put particles. What does it mean, particles? These corners, what I actually have, I put a particle here, and this particle, I move it, whoops, I move it to this corner and bring it back. Move it to this corner and bring it back. These corners are the things that I put originally, the corners of the space. These 8 corners is what create a space in relationship to me. So far, so good? Now, the moment that I created space, within the space, I can have particles moving. The moment that the particles are moving, there is time, there is a place. I can say, oh, this is where it is in relationship to this corner and in relationship to me, or in relationship to this corner and relationship to that corner. So far, so good. Everyone with me? But before you put space, before you created space, there's nothing. So before you created space, there is nothing. What is this nothing? This is your you. And from you, from that viewpoint, you extend points. You extend the point, you extend the point, you extend the point, you extend the point, and you create a space. If you look at the room that you are in right now, you'll see the room has 8 corners. And you'll see that you can have, if you are alive, these corners are big and the room is big. And if you feel sad, you don't see the room. Your space becomes smaller. True or false? Okay. So we're dealing only with space, only with space. Okay? All your limitations are limitations of space. What is required to remove any limitation? Yeah, when you're dead, it's actually not your space, but it's the space of the body. And then because the body is not alive, it doesn't create the space, the body disintegrate. That's why the body disintegrate. Because the body is spaces. Affinity, willingness. I realize when I operate from protecting myself, I'm shrinking my space. That's correct. Willingness to removing pictures, willingness, increase the size of your space. Even if it looks like time, it is still space problem. It's always space because time is the result of spaces. We will talk about it within a second. Increase your space. Okay, remove space. Okay. What is the required to remove any limitation? What requires is control. You see, if I can control those items from here to here, I can control the space. I can shrink the space or make it bigger. Are you with me? Now, what prevents control? So you see, in order to remove any limitation, you need control. What prevents control? Me not willing, control is required to remove limitation. Yes. What prevents control? Willingness to see, not confront. Yes. Barriers. Yes. Space prevent control. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. If I'm sitting here, this is me, and this is the fridge, and I want to control the milk in the fridge. If I'm here, I don't have much control over it. But if I get closer and closer and closer and closer, I can control the milk. True or false? In order to control what's going on the moon, you need to close the space. They're sending a spaceship, yes? So what prevents control? Space. Are you with me? What do you think, Shmuel? Have a look. Is there any other barrier other than a barrier of space? If the space is the first thing that happened before energy, before time, before everything, is there any other barrier? No, of course. What spaces shape your life? What spaces shape your life, control your life? What spaces define your life? Relationships, yes. Dynamics, yes. Your body. Other people create spaces, yes. Location, business, environment. There are actually only 2 spaces that shape your life. Only 2 spaces. Ideas and consideration, time, internal and external, plus and minus, ideas, fake reality. There are only 2. the space of the past and the space of the future. So if you look at that, most of the people think that this is time. They think that this is time. And there is some kind of imaginary present time. And this is the space of the past. And this is the space of the future. So far, so good? Now, do you agree that one come before two? Plus before minus? Yes? Create before destroy. The viewpoint comes before the viewed point. So the viewpoint, this is the viewpoint. It comes before the points that you are viewing, which is the space, yes? So I'm giving you very, very advanced material because I'm trying to get to some kind of an understanding of something, but this is the building blocks. So far, so good. Everyone with me? Now, can you actually see when it is right now? Is there a space, Shamaya? Right now, is there space? If you're creating it, it means that there is time going on. You put it something here, you create a space, yes? So if there is a space, the moment that you said there is a space, there is not now. It's separating. What separates you is now, is the space. Okay, that's what we're explaining so far. Okay, so now, what are the two places you have never been to? Exactly. You've never been to the future. Okay, so we agreed on that, yes? Why? Why you have never been to the past or the future? Why? Doesn't exist? Because neither exists. There is no past. There is no future. They don't exist. But you can see them. True or false? They don't exist, but you can see them. Anything you can sense, measure, or record is not the original. It does not exist. True or false? But I need you to fully tell me if you understand it, yes? Because every one of those lines are important. I'm building something for you to understand, to cognite on. Why is it not the original? Okay, let me explain why, okay? If I'm here and this is a star that's 3 billion light years from now, okay? By the time, what happened, it is starting to send information here, yes? But on the other hand, it continues to move and change and evolve, and maybe at some point it even exploded, da 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 da. But me, I am here, okay? But I get this message, which means that what I see do not exist. True or false? Do you have any doubt about it? Now, does it make any difference if the distance is 300 light years away or 3 milliseconds? No. Is the star consistently sending information? No, it's not consistently sending information. I'm taking one piece of information because information come in a series, yes? So it sends information from here and it's 1 millisecond after that it sends another information and then you get it one after, that's why you see it one after another. We will talk about does it existed yesterday, but if you understand the word exist, if you understand the word exist, you will see that it doesn't make sense to ask the question because exist can exist only in the past. Exists is only the past, and there is no past. But the past doesn't exist. That's correct. That's what I'm getting you to look at. Okay. Everyone with me so far? Anything you can sense, measure, or record is not the original because it exists, because it somehow seems to you like it's there, but what you're measuring is the past, and the past does not exist. You agree to that? Okay, 100% with me, yes? That's good. Now, a picture is never the original. If you look at the picture, it's not the original. In fact, you can never return to the original. You cannot go back to the past. You only ever look at it. You can only look at the past. You cannot go back to the past. Can you go to yesterday's breakfast? Can you go to the exact same house you born at? No, because the exact same house do not exist because it change all the time. This universe is a universe of change. And the same apply to the future. Do you agree with that 100%? Okay. Now here is the $1,000,000 question. Why do you look at the past and why do you look at the future if they do not exist? Why do you look at them? Why? Non-confront, I don't know. Because I'm holding into them. But why are you holding into them? False feeling of control. Why do you want false feeling of control? Since when we're looking for false thing? I thought we're looking for the truth. It's definitely not to understand them, and it's definitely not to learn from them because they don't exist. It's a lie, yes? They don't exist. This is really interesting. Why do you look at the past? Why this insane worries? Because if you look at the past, it will give you only worries. If you look at the future, it will make you stressed because it does not exist, and you try to understand something that do not exist. It does not apply for now. You look at the past and the future in an effort to avoid the present. Look, what you do, you say, okay, you say, we'll just take right now the is time. I would not explain yet what is time. But what you say, look, there is here a theoretical now. And what I will do, I will either me, the spirit, look either here or here, but never here. Are you with me? Instead of creating the present, you stand outside of it and look. You look at the past. You look at the future. Notice the language. You are never in the past or in the future. You are only looking at them. Did you notice? You are only looking at them. You are not in the past. You are not in the future. You are looking at them and totally skipping present time. Now, here is the $1,000,000 question. What is the only way to go back to the past, and what is the only way to go forward to the future? Create. Create. Yes. To return to the past, you must create it, and to arrive at the future, you must create it. Not change. Change is taking something that already has been created, of course. So you can create the past, you can create the future. Now, what does it mean when I say create the past or create the future? What does it mean? What does the word create mean? What is the instant of creation? To put it there, bring into existence. Idea, yes. Something from nothing. If you look at that, the instant of creation is the present. Present is the instant of creation. No time, no place, no form, no space. So the only way to have a past or to go back to the past or the future is to create it, but create is the present. Instant is something with no time. Instant pudding. Are you with me? So look. This is what you consider the past. This is what you consider the future. And the only way to go back to the past, to go back to the past or the future is to create it. But create means present. Do you get the idea or not? Don't just first understand. Look at the understanding. Just understand. Understand what I'm saying first. Do you understand the idea that create means present time? Create is just the definition of what bring present time about. Okay? And to bring about the past, you need to create it, which means you need present time. And to bring about the future, you need to create it, which means you need present time. So far, so good? So the communication that I'm giving you is like that. There is no past. There is no future. The only way to have a past is to create it. The only way to have a future is to create it, but create means to be in present time. So far, so good? The present time is not already here. It would be the past if it would be already here. Just understand what I'm saying first. Just make sure that you understand every word I say. Ask me about a word. What is doingness? Doingness, if it's doingness, it's already past. What you do, you move something. Doingness is not the present. There is no doingness in present time. Consider it easier to create the past than the present. How can it be? Think about what you are saying. There is no past. The only way to create a past, the only way to have a past is to create it, but you cannot create a past because there is no past. Just let it sink. You see, in order to have a problem, you need to add a lie. If you don't realize that when you're looking at the past, you're actually not looking at something, but you're actually creating something. So the past cannot affect you the moment that you understand there is no past. Yeah, because what you're looking at it, what you created, but you say, I'm looking at it because you're giving it an idea of time, and we will see within a second what does it mean. Yeah, there is no past. The only way to go so-called back to the past, because it's not back, the only way to have a past is to create it now. Which means all the things that affect you from what you call the past do not affect you. You're creating them actively. They're helping you. You have a limitation. You feel that you are not smart enough. You creating that limitation to say that you are not smart enough. It helps you. You have no money. You create it. You create it actively right now. It's not from the past. It helps you. Otherwise, you would not create it. The entire physical universe, we are putting it right there, 100%. Did you see right now the wall in China? No. Why? Because you don't create it right now. Someone else creating it. It does not exist. How much attention you put on your past? Everything you consider that everything that happened to you right now is because something happened that caused this thing, that caused this thing, that caused this thing, that caused this thing, and this is happened, which means the past caused it. But there is no past. Everything that happening right now, you creating. How do you creating it? You so smart creating all of those things. But what you create is those things. But in actuality, there could be billion other things that been created, and that's other viewpoints. But you look at the blue ones because it's yours. And the lie is that it has been created, that it's there, but it's not there. You're creating it right now. All that blue things is called your justifications. All that blue thing is your justification, your excuses to why you are not here, you are here, and why I should not know that I'm creating this thing. Well, feeling will always mislead you because sanity is having no past. Amnesia happened only once you decided that you need to remember instead of knowing. What do you think? Did you ever see something that exists that not present with you? Who have right now chakachuka? Who have right now chakachuka? You don't because you didn't create it. But you do have that bastard that you still hate because you're creating it. And you say it happened, he did it. Oh, my dad did that and that to me. No, 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 no. Your dad did nothing to you. Why didn't do it to your brother? Chakachuka is just a made up word. It's nonsense. Like, boo. Let's continue. This is just I need you to understand those concepts so you can understand actually the next step and the next step and the next step. So is that so far real to you? This is real to you. There is no actual past. There's no actual future. You create it. Okay, let's continue. Let's have a look a bit more. Why do you think man wants to avoid the present? Why people wants to avoid the present? They don't want to confront. Why? Why? They don't want to sit with uncertainty. The only certainty there is the present. Too much responsibility. The only no need for any responsibility is the present. Total control. It is already above control, above responsibility, above knowledge. That's the present. Sins about the presence, you don't want to know the present. There is no sins in the presence. A sin is something that you did bad in the past. How can you have a sin? How can you be wrong at the present? You can be wrong only if there is a past and future, if there is a comparison to something. How big is the number 7? How big is the number 7? Who can tell me how big is the number 7? How big is it? It's not big and it's not small before you don't have something to compare it to. If you look verses 6, it's big, and if it's verses 8, it's small. The same thing with the sin. You need to have right and wrong, but it's 0 time. There's not 2. There's nothing to compare to. So all of this idea about it's at 0 time, there is too much responsibility, too much this, too much that. No, there's nothing to compare to. So you don't need responsibility. You are perfect. It's called the present because it's the biggest present you can ever get. No, it's not natural not to be in the present. That's why you need so much effort. Okay. So we say to return to the past, you must create it. To arrive at the future, you must create it. But that is the present, the instant of creation. Do you agree so far? Excellent. Perfect. Now, and yet, what is everyone is trying to do? What is everyone is trying to do all the time? They try to remember, they try to recall in an effort to know the past. You see, to return, you need to create. So it's not to recall, yes? It's not to remember, yes? To arrive, you need to create. So it's not to recall, it's not to remember, it's not to predict, it is to create. But everyone trying to remember, or they're trying to predict in an effort to know the future. So they try to know by either recalling, remembering, or by predicting. So far, so good. The assumption is this: if I know the past, I can predict the future. And if I can predict the future, I know the past. Basically, they say, look, if you tell me if this is the beginning, and you tell me what's happened, and then what's happened, and then what's happened, and then what's happened, and then what's happened, if you tell me everything that happened, I will tell you what will happen. I will tell you the future. And if you tell me the future, which means you tell me what the stock will do, I can predict what happened in the past. Are you with me? This is what they're trying to do. True or false? This is the logical explanation. This is why people doing it. Okay? But in doing so, the present is skipped. When you do so, your punishment is not present. You don't get the present. Do you understand that? Do you understand the concept? So what you're trying to do, you say, I want to know the past so I can predict the future, and and if I can predict the future, I know the past. But you already agreed that the past and the future do not exist. So you see the deterioration, yes? You lie to yourself. You say, this thing is something that's not under my control. This is just happening. So I need to figure out the past. I need to remember the past. I need to remember the past. And the more you try to remember the past, the less you'll be able to create it. And the less you'll be able to create it, the less you'll be in present time, the more problems you will have, because the past become bigger and bigger and bigger, more and more and more complexity, and less and less and less workability. And if it was, and how do you know that it's true? The older you get, the worse you get. Are you with me so far? How do you know? How do you know anything? How do you know? When I said the spirit know, how do you know? By creating, yes. How do you know? Just decide. Yes, the only way to know something is to create it. The moment that you start to consider you did not create something, you will not know it. If you wrote the program, you will know the program. But if you didn't write the program, if you are the founder, you created the company, you will know everything there is to know about the company. But if you are not the founder and you work for someone and you don't take the viewpoint of the founder, you don't create the company, you will not know what to do. You will become a robot. So far, so good. If you don't create your body, you will see that your body will give you problems. It will shrink and become ugly. You will not know what's going on. It will surprise you. Okay. And creation means this. What's creation mean? What does it mean, creation? When I say to create, what does it mean? What does it mean, this moment in creation, this thing, this, we have the time here and this now. What is the creation? To put the idea, no space, to put it there, make something out of nothing. Yes. Actually, to create mean no past, no future. So what blocks you from creation? You think that past and future exist. So you're in the jail. You're in the jail because you think that things already exist. So you cannot create. You can only change or be changed. You can only be the effect, because when you change something, you're still an effect of what already exists. You can open the door, but you're still an effect because there is a door. The space is there. Are you with me? Creation has no continuation, so obviously creation has no past and no future. That's the truth. Truth is the moment of creation. Something without change. It's the original. So far, so good. Everyone with me? Now, the interesting thing is that this is the only condition in which one is not an effect and yet can experience. Most of the people become an immediate effect of what they want to, of an experience. Totally get now when you say, do one thing. It is the one thing you're creating without past and future, 100%. This is power. The way I'm writing wins down for myself. Wow, wow, wow. Yes, amazing. So technically, we are always creating in the present time. Present time is creation. Yes, we're just giving it a consideration because we are operating on some kind of a lie that you need the past to figure out the future. But the truth, and that's why you get into more and more and more problems, because you add more and more and more lies, more complications. Every time you ask the past, you kill yourself. Every time you ask the past, you kill yourself. And still, what are you trying to do? You try to know the past, you try to know the future. In other words, you are trying to create the past and the future. So, in other words, you are trying to create the past and the future. But creation, by definition, has no past and no future. You're trying to create the past and the future, but creation, by definition, has no past and no future. Competence is the ability to do what you do when you're doing it, which means you're creating. This is just unbelievable. And the more you try to know the past and the future, the less you can create, because the only things you can create is the present now. So the more you say, I want to create the past, the more you rely on the past, the more you think the past is important, the less you can create. So the more you operate on lies, the less you are. So you have this unbelievable power, which is you, and you kill it by adding the lies that the past define what you create. So you cannot create. Patrick, as I said, understanding, not questions. That's the answer. Because then you'll answer for yourself. Which means if you will acknowledge what you did understand, you will then understand more because you're creating. You can look at the past, you can look at the future, but you do so only in an effort to avoid the present. So the more you insist on looking at the past, the more you insist on looking at the future, the more you try to figure out from the past, the less you will be successful, the less you will be, the less you will control, the more space you will deliver. The more you will be affected by space. Okay, that impassibility, that trap, that effort is called what? What this impassibility, where you, on the one hand, you are saying, okay, I want to depend on the past and I want to look at the future, but there is no past, there is no future. What's this thing is called? What's this thing? What is it called? Lazy life, non-confront, yes. Insanity, measurement of space, yes. What is it called? What's this thing, this skipping, this thing that we're skipping here? This skipping, what is this thing called? Doubt, yes. Avoidance, yes. Non-confront, yes. It is called time. When something is slow for you, when you are slow, when you are not instant, is because you rely on the past. You're trying to figure out the future, and what you get is time, because at present time, there is no time. That's the present, taking away the time. When I told you before the time is interchange of spaces, you didn't fully understand that the spaces is between the past and the future. It's really amazing. Time is a manufacture delayed, a distance imagined between what did not happen, the past, and what will never happen, the future. That's distance is the time. Time is the avoidance of present. So when you see someone slow, when you see someone low on the tone scale, when you see someone dead, what you have is just this interchange of spaces. And when someone is really dead, he has no more space, no more future, so he's stuck on one side, so it's forever. What if we consider that time is what makes the game fun though? If you consider it and you do it causatively, it's not a problem because it does not exist. You're creating it. But if it's impose of you and I'll put you in jail and I'll say, no, that's the fun. Just have more time, sit there. Jail is a problem because you did not create it. But I can tell you it's fun. That's what makes it fun. But if you the warden, you still go to jail. But it's not a problem because you create it. Are you with me? The thing to understand, of course, but you don't know about it if you're worried about the jail. The moment that you know, you're in present time, so there's no jail. Now, you really need to understand that all your problems are problems of space. And the manifestation of space is time. And you've got the time because you prevent present time by thinking, by assuming, by considering that the past is important or the future is important. So now you can go and say, well, but something happened to me in the past, and cry about it and cry about it and justify and blame and shame and regret. And look, I have no future, no future, no future. I'm an effect. I'm useless. I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. Wonderful. It will continue forever, not one lifetime. And you will never get out of this if you will not realize that you create this, you create this. You can go and try and say, no, 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 I want to delete those things. And yes, you can delete one by one by one of 70 trillion years. Good luck, my friend. Or you can find the basic mechanism. And once you know the basic mechanism, you become source over it. So it will take you 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 days or weeks or month, but it will go away. Now, the consideration of time is the enforced delay. So this time that this is just a consideration, you're just saying there is a past. It's just a result of a lie. It's the biggest lie in the universe. Time is the effect of considered distance between the past and the future. Time is the effect of considered distance between the past and the future. So the more past you have, the more distance you have. The more distance you have, the more time you create, the further you are from creating. So if you've got one person, this is present time. Do you understand that? Yes? Everyone understand that this is present time before the time, yes? And this is the beginning, da, 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 da. Many, many, many things happen, and all of this thing is your past. And for as long as you think that there is a past, you think that present time is here. But present time never arrived because anything that happened now immediately become your past, yes? So far, so good? So what happened is that the more you think there's past, the further you are from present time. So the accumulation, the mistake is people think that present time is now, which means the next moment. But there's no next moment. Present time is before time. So the more you add past, the further you are from present time, the slower you get. So time is this distance between this and that and that and that and that and that. And really what you do, you're getting away from your ability to create at will. So you become slower, you become stupider, you become limited. Are you with me? Present time is before the beginning because the present time is the moment that you of creation, yes? Present time is a moment of creation, is not a moment here when you are in between the past and the future. This is not present time because there is no zero time in the physical universe, yes? Okay, how does it become past? If this is now, if now it's 4 o'clock and then it's 4.1, was there 4.1? Was there any present time in between them? No, because every millisecond is immediately become the past. Time do not stop, and because the time do not stop, there is no present time in the physical universe. You understand? Good. Which means that the only present time there is the moment of creation. When do you create? When you are before time, when you can bring something out of nothing. So this is nothing, and you can bring about something. You're not changing, you're creating, you're bringing something out of nothing, which means there was no past. Here, there's no past, no future. Here, there's past and future. Everyone with me? So time is the effect of considered distance between past and future. So the more, how do you create more and more distance? By thinking that there is more past. How do you have more past? By giving it importance. By not confronting it. By not, what does it mean not to confront the past? Not knowing that you created. By saying he did it to me. You don't confront the past. You'll have time, you'll become slow and useless and stupid. You with me? Look at something that happened to you. Just think about something that happened to you. Whatever comes first. Okay? Does it exist? No, not now. It does not exist. Now it exists, but it does not exist. But now do not cannot exist. Yes, not until I created it. Yes. So when someone daydream, if he's doing it mechanically, he will be drowned. But if he know that he create, if he understand this knowledge, then he brings something about, and he doesn't have continuation. And he doesn't think that because I put some picture there, I have vision board. So the vision board is my boss, and because I have something there, I will get it. No, vision board will get you away from where you want to be because it adds time. It's paralyze your ability to create. If you understand this concept, you will see that it's actually paralyzed. The more you rely on the past or the future, the more you are paralyzed. Oh, one day I will become rich. You're paralyzed. You will never become rich. Someone may hand you money, but you will not become rich. Space that result in time. What about business goals that are for the future then? Business goals, if you just put business goals, you're going to be very, 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 very sad and a failure. But if you will actually look at all the gamut from goal, purpose, ideal scene, strategy, operational plan, tactical plan, um, orders, end results, statistics, and you take this whole thing, to do this whole thing, you basically have to create it. So the purpose of putting this whole thing together is creation, but goal alone is nonsense because being alone is not creation. Are you with me? So when someone tell you, no, you need goals, yes, he understands that you need to create, but he doesn't understand that goal alone is not creation. You don't need goals. You need to remove the past and the future so you will know now. And so it will not take you 20 years to become half successful. Are you with me? So time is the effect of considered distance. So for as long as you have distance, what's the problem? What's the problem with past and future? What's the problem with this with this time? What's the problem with this creation of time? Why is it a problem, time? Why time is the problem? Why is it a problem to be slow? Why is it a problem not to urge to be faster, instant? Why is it a problem? No have, yes. Less life, separate me from exactly, Curtis, exactly. Creation happens only from no time. That's why you cannot create law on the ton scale. The problem is time. Why? Because creation happened at zero time. And if you create time, you paralyze your ability to create. How do you take a spirit that is so powerful and make it paralyzed? You convince the spirit that there is past and future, which create time, and so it cannot create because the past is stronger than any creation. Because you look at the universe and the vastness of the universe as the vastness of the Milky Way, never mind the whole galaxy, never mind the whole universe itself, just the Milky Way, and the vastness is so big that of course you cannot handle it. Are you with me? Never mind the Milky Way, the vastness of your past, of your life, of one lifetime, of one relationship is so big that you think that the only way to do is to run away from it. You cannot create it anymore. Are you with me? Do you understand? Your enemy is the space, and the spaces that your enemy is the space of the past and the space of the future, because it brings about time, and time is the kryptonite on creation. It's what's prevent you from creating. Did you notice that when you go to sleep and when you wake up, it's almost the same time? You don't feel the time passing, yes? True? Because sleep has no time. There is no senses replaying the past. And so it feels as though you wake up at the same moment you fell asleep. And if you cannot fall asleep, you think, 5 minutes look like an hour. I'm turning around for an hour. Because once you start to look at the past, you create a lot of time. Are you with me? This is really unbelievable. The same apply to closing cycles of actions. There is no beginning and no end. There is no future and no past. And so you lose sense of time when you actually closing cycles of actions. When you produce from the viewpoint of creation, you just know. Are you with me? Do you understand? If you live an open cycle, you create time because now you have past and you have future. It's the same principle. How much sleep you need? How much sleep do you need? 7 hours. But the principle, not in numbers of hours, all of it. Yes. Not too much. Sleep is for the weak. So you need as much as you consume past versus future. As much as past or future has been restimulated during your day. And if you are doing something exciting, which means there's no past, there's no future, you are totally in the moment, you never get tired. Children don't get tired. The body get tired, but they want to continue. Imagine you decide your eyes need protection, so you put on sunglasses. Just imagine that, okay? You put the sunglasses with some filter, yes? So you put the sunglasses with that filter, the world looks a bit different. Is that true or false? Different colors, different shapes, different, yes? The space looks different. After a while, you forgot you are wearing them. Just imagine that you forgot, it's there. What you look at become your reality, not because it is true, but because you no longer remember you are looking through glasses. The past and the future are those glasses. The mind supply you those glasses, tinting what you see, altering the color of reality. It's actually not difficult to get rid of. It's difficult to keep them on. Creation is easy. Time is difficult. And the moment you decide you must look at something in order to know, so you need the past in order to know, you need knowledge in order to know. The moment that you decide that you need to look at something in order to know, you step out of the present, using the past that never happened to experience a future that will never arrive. How crazy it is. The moment that you decide you must look at something in order to know, I need to remember, I need to look at the past, I need to see what happened in the past, or the past telling me, or because he behaved like that, I know he will behave like that again, or he will not behave like that again. Whatever you have, the moment that you need to look at something in order to know, you step out of the present because the present have no time. And when you look at something, you create time and you're using the past that never happened. Like, look at the stupidity. You look at the past that never happened, but you make it so important in order to experience a future that will never arrive. And by that, avoiding the only real, amazing excitement, the only beauty, which is present time. Are you with me? Do you understand what we are dealing with? So why do we look at the past and look at the future? Why do you look at the past and look at the future? To check how much time is left. Okay. Why do you look at the past and the future? To compare, yes. Because you are trying to avoid the present. You're trying to avoid the present. You understand? I told you in the beginning that the only reason something is continue because you are not willing to confront it, yes? So when something continue, you add time and you bring complications. And complication end up with unworkability. Your life get messed up. It's crazy. You are trying to avoid the present. You cannot go back to the past and you cannot go forward into the future. You can only look at something you create now and call it the past, call it the future. And the only way to return to the past is to create it. The only way to reach the future is to create it. But creations happen only, it happens only in the presence, only now. So every attempt to live in the past or secure the future is still an action taken in the present, only distorted by space. Do you agree so far? Do you see these principles? Very good. So now I'm going to talk to you about affinity space and the disguise of time. Affinity is the absence of separation. Do you agree? Yes? Absence of separation. So what prevents affinity? Space. What brings about space? What's this space? What spaces do we have? Past and future, yes? Which is, of course, the result is manifest in time. So if you rely on the past or you hope for a future, you will not have affinity for that person or thing. You will separate from them. Since you think that the body has something to do with what you ate and how much you slept, and if you took your vitamins or not, you will see that eventually you will get rid of this body. The affinity reduces. In its most basic level, affinity is the absence of space. And in human experience, that space appears as past space and future space. When there is no space between the past and the future, there is no time, only present. So time is actually a substitute for affinity. When someone has no time, you need to know that he's low on the tone scale, he has low affinity. And when you love someone, all of a sudden you have all the time for this person. A person that says, I don't have time, admits that he does not have affinity and he's stuck on the past or in the future and basically lot on. 100% vitamins are not necessary. Nothing is necessary. 100%. If someone cannot make time for you, he doesn't love you. Time is a substitute for affinity. When you rely, well, at the beginning, you go to a relationship, there's no past, okay? You don't really worry about the future. And of course, you are willing to do for the person, you have time, you have everything, there's no problem. So you see that when you have this beginning, when you have creation, when you have no time, everything is perfect. You have everything you need. But when space is introduced, times appear as a comparison, as judgment, as gradient. Ugly to beautiful, bad to good, failure to success. These gradients are not true. They are disguise, way to hide affinity, way to hide love, way to add time. It's just ugly and beautiful is just another space of past and future. Bad and good, failure and success. It is just how you hide. You hide affinity. You hide love. And you add time. Time is not what connects events. Time is what separates them. Affinity is what connects them. Are you with me? So if you are with someone for a long time, you will be a lot of separation from him. But if you create the relationship, every time it's a new relationship, so you will stay with them. It's really amazing. You love your baby because you just created the baby. It's new. You're creating every day. And once the baby become something that, oh, I have a baby and it's just, I have it, you will see that you will have less time for the baby. You will be more separated from the baby. You will have less affinity for the baby. And the way to handle it is to create the relationship, create the relationship. And the more space you create between past and future, the less affinity you hold, the less love you know, the more time and the less you can create. Time is not something you live in. Time is a constructed delay. The considered space between past and future. Time is composed of future moments that instantly convert into past moments. But now is not a moment in time. Now is the absence of time. Forever is not endless time. Forever is before time, when you could still create. No time, no place, no form, no event. That's forever. Comparing things places the past against the future, and in doing so, creates time. Comparison removes you from the present. And in that removal, your ability to create is hidden or paralyzed. To compare, to put two things one against the other, להשוות. I'm not as good as the other students. So you cannot create your next step. just by saying it. You paralyze, you jail yourself, you put handcuffs and mind cuffs. That's why it's called Mein Kampf. And mind cuffs on your ability to create. Are you with me? There's no good and bad. There's no right and left. There's no beautiful and ugly. This is all ways to convince you to add time and not create. You can fall in love with a chair. And if you cannot, you need to save your sorry ass. The only thing that we have is the only question is, can you create? Are you willing to create? Are you willing to create? Every limitation traces back to one cause. Every limitation traces back to one cause. What is it? What is it? Space, past. Yes, willingness, space. True. Life never fails you. Life mirrors nothing but the strength of your command over life, your ability to create it. Where command is present, problem dissolves. Where command is absence, they raise like shadows without a source. To walk the path of being cause of a life, you must decide one thing. Truth demands a price. The complete abandonment of every chain to the past. Only then you are able to create. No theory may claim you, no philosophy may cage you, no fact may stand above you. Only when nothing owns you can truth be seen. Only when you are free can you command, can you create. So in this lesson, what I'm telling you is that you need to learn how to release yourself from the chain that you put on of your past. You have to do that. There's nothing more important than that. Because otherwise, the fact that you automatically accumulate past will kill you. Just kill you totally. How do you kill a spirit? Convince the spirit that there is a past, that there is future. Convince a spirit that you cannot create. So what I'm going to do, I've put together a webinar or a set of lessons that I'm calling the extreme wisdom. If you've been through today, you realize that what I'm teaching is an extreme wisdom. It's not something, I'm not giving you something just giving you something in a different way that someone else told you. I'm not talking here about some kind of nice to have. So I've put together a series of webinars. Every month I will handle one aspect of life. And what I teach you is not something that true for business or for family or for relationship or for health. What I teach you is something that applies to everything, because if it does not apply to everything, it contains a lie. If what I teach you today do not apply to sleep, to closing cycles of action, to business, to relationship, to marriage, to life and death, then it's nonsense. It contains a lie. So I will have every month, I will take one subject, and this subject might be marketing, and this subject might be life. This subject may be past life. This subject may be time stream. This subject may be remote viewing. This subject may be anything. So every month I will take one subject, and I will teach that subject in details. And what does it mean, teach it in details? I will teach you in such a simple way that you will be able to go and apply it. Okay? How is it going? We have a plan on how to do this thing, and you can register in quite a few different ways. Tomorrow price, if you buy tomorrow, it will be $597 per month, which means $149 per class. And a class can be anything between 1 and 3 hours. I cannot guarantee how long. It depends on how much you participate. So assuming, let's say, 2 hours, it means it's about $70 per hour. Yes? It's cheaper than probably your cleaner. If you want to buy it annually, it will cost you $3,700, which is about $74 per class or about $35 per hour. So it's really nothing, $35 per hour. Yes? You cannot buy anything at $35 per hour. Definitely not something that save your life. Because you joined today as a special price, the price will be not $597, but $497 per month. If you join on a monthly basis, or you can buy it at $2,895, which means $25 per hour. Yes, you see the full slide on right. Yes. Do you want to see that? Let me put it in such a way that you can see it, okay? So it will be real to you, okay? Now we've got 110% money back guarantee, which means that if you'll not get, you don't just get the money back, you'll get your money plus 10%. If you go to a lesson and the lesson costs $58, and that lesson, you think, no, it's not good for me. You write to me, I don't ask you why, and you'll get $66 back. It will be a weekly class, yes. Okay? Now, the business class purpose is the purpose and your life recording. So I'm going to give you this thing as a gift, okay? So I'm going to give you an extra, this purpose and your life recording, which basically you need it. You need to listen to that 100 times. If I was you, I would listen to it once per month. And $297 credit to use towards any GP online course. Okay. So this is quite amazing. You get all of those different perks. And the more important, what you get is your life. Okay, you get your life. Now to register, you need to go to gprosperity.com/extreme. If you're still not sure and you want to pay a way to get a feel of what extreme wisdom class will be like, you can get your first lesson at a ridiculous price. You'll get $1 million knowledge in your first lesson. And it will be for a special price only today. If you register today, $29. So you can register today at $29 for the first lesson, and you have 10% extra as money back guarantee. Lesson 1 of the extreme wisdom will be only $29. Yes? So, or you can join monthly or yearly program at the best price possible with the bonuses. Okay. So I'm giving you an offer, and why I'm giving it to you Because every day, you get bombarded by your past and future. And these things are so powerful that despite the fact that today you understood the principle, you'll see you'll need much, 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 much more work to be able to create. And the purpose of the extreme wisdom and the reason I'm going extreme is because I need to put you in a position to create. Because if you're aware of it or not, this universe have a major problem, and the only people that will survive are those people that will not be affected by the past, will not be affected by the atom bomb, will not be affected by the war, will not be affected by the loss. Yes, extreme problems require extreme wisdom, exactly. But really, the purpose is to help you eliminate the effect of the past so you can actually create. Not future, but create. If you don't attend weekly, you will be too upset, you will have too much of the past affecting you to live your life. What I'm going to teach you is not just another piece of data. It will be simple, but extremely powerful. Simple, but extremely powerful. What I taught you today is really simple. It can be summarized as every problem is a space. Because of the space, you don't have control. In order to control, you need to remove the space, but the interchange between the spaces create time, which prevent you from being now. And the only way to handle those spaces is to be now. So you can create. 3.5 seconds, I can explain it. But in order for you to understand it, I need to make it simple. So it will become yours. And even then, you will get it and lose it and get it and lose it. And then you will need a lot of work to remove the considerations that hold the past in place, that push you to go towards a future that do not exist. Are you with me? When it will be on Friday, the same time as the business class, yes. So right now, like now, the same time. Okay. That's all for today. Thank you very, very, very much for attending. And the only problem that I see with you is that you underestimate how perfect you are. I'm really trying to show you how perfect, how beautiful, how unbelievable you are. But I have competition, and the competition is the past. The competition is the future. But the difference between me and the past and the future, I have the truth on my side. So, regardless of how many battles will happen, and regardless of how many battles I will lose with one person or another, the war will be won. Because the truth is on my side, which is on your side. So, we will start the extreme wisdom very soon, and it's going to be mind blowing. Every lesson, if you've been with me, you know, every lesson is unique. There's no lesson that you cannot say, "Whoa, that was the best one." Why? Because it's created. It's not just something that I'm looking at the past. And it's not that I create it. I make sure that you are source, that you create it. That's why it's so powerful. It's not what I teach. It is what I demand of you to create. I'm demanding that you will be source. So that's all for today. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Thank you for listening. I definitely do it for you. And so I love you. Bye bye.